What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody's doing well today. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we'll be checking out a highly requested video, Canada comedy invasion on the USA. I think we all have been noticing, but over the time, more and more Canadian comedians have been getting introduced to the USA. And, a lot of Canadian comedians have, traveled and moved over here and created a new life to expand their comedy careers. At a certain point, when your career and your path is going a certain place, eventually you'll need to come to the United States in order to expand your career. For some reason, America is just a place to do it, man. Don't ask me how, don't ask me why. It's just a place to come and expand your career and, be more out there, get your name out there more and experience new things to, should I say, better your career. So let's go ahead and check this video out.
Humor is one of Canada's biggest exports. Well, actually, it should be spelled humor with a U. If you don't believe me that
I noticed that, same thing in Britain. They spell humor with a U. You can spell it both ways, but me as an American, the proper way of spelling humor, you gotta add the U. I used to argue about this in class in school, and the teacher used to be like, you can spell it either way, but I see where you're coming from. I'm glad she understood her brother. I'm glad she understood me. Everybody else thinking I'm crazy. You don't know how to spell. Go read the dictionary or something. You thinking I'm crazy.
Well, actually, it should be spelled humor with a U. If you don't believe me that Canada exports hundreds of millions of dollars of comedy, take a look at the careers of Jim Carrey, Mike Myers, Lorne Michaels, Michael J. Fox, and the late John Candy, just to name a small few. And Canada is one of those rare countries that doesn't take itself too seriously, and pretty much any style of stereotype and self-deprecating humor is on the table for a good laugh. Canadians just refuse to behave like most other countries that insist on taking themselves just a wee too seriously. Although I'd say places like Germany have learned to have a sense of humor, as they have made David Hasselhoff a rock star there.
Nice guys get washed away like the snow and the rain.
Heck, even Japan puts pictures of Brad Pitt on vending machines, so they really can't be accused of having no sense of humor, can they? I would say Canada has no fear in laughing at itself and its people and institutions.
Not at all. I mean, we've noticed that from previous comedy skits we've checked out. Canadians like to joke on themselves, joke about their military and this and that, joke about the common issues and stereotypes of their country. I've seen it before.
Almost nothing is sacred, but often domestic Canadian television humor does not translate well for the rest of the world, as people cannot always understand the internal cultural references.
What happened to the good old-fashioned Newfoundland accent? We here at 22 Minutes think Team Newfoundland would be much more entertaining if they maintained the stereotypical cadence and humor one might expect from a team from Newfoundland.
Jam that one in there as tight as the jeans and the preacher's wife, that should do it.
Or if we smacks the face off he driving them up Aunt Maisie's lane, we can freeze tree for one, money back guaranteed.
Here, now, if Fatty Arbuckle here gets knocked back to Wednesday, that's going to leave him exposed like Uncle Josiah Newberry up there at the gravel pit on May 2 for a long weekend. So, what I think we should do, right? Put a pig on the bridge.
Yeah.
Right? Keep nippers out.
And then came the Canadian humor invasion into American mainstream media decades ago. The invasion of Canadian humor with its national stereotypes into mainstream American media has always been amusing. It reinforces and exaggerates Canadian stereotypes that aren't always true, but we still love to laugh at them. And how did Canadian humor happen to invade the excited states of America? You can thank all the Canadian comedians, writers, and actors that have been hired to work in American media. So let's take a lighthearted trip through the silly world of Canadian humor, American style. And since I'm Canadian, I'll just apologize
And I'm glad that, the United States is but they're offering the opportunity to Canadians and, even British people, man, to be on our live television, get a chance, get a feel for what their humor is like, their dark humor, their expressionless humor, emotionless, that type of humor that we don't get over here in the States. We don't have a lot of people with a funny personality or a great sense of humor, especially on live TV, like something as simple as the news channel, and it's really hard, especially in the comedy world in the States, without them coming off inappropriate or rude or, you know, cursing up a storm or making inappropriate jokes or cracking on somebody. When it comes to Canadians and, you know, like, you know, comedians from the UK, I keep, you know, comparing you two guys because you guys are like right up the same alley when it comes to humor. It's like you guys have more of a intelligent, knowledgeable humor that people understand. If you could catch on to it, that type of humor, that it's funny if you understand it. You gotta know to know, you know? And that's where the intelligent plays a part, because if you're not educated to a certain point, you're not gonna be able to understand and catch on to what some of these shows are talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely, you know, gives a different experience for the viewer, and it's great. It's amazing. I definitely noticed that.
With Canadian humor, American style. And since I'm Canadian, I'll just apologize right now for putting this together for you.
Splendid. Welcome to Canada.
Go! We sent a camera crew north to Toronto, and we asked Raptors fans to talk some trash, to give us the best of their worst, and, well, this is what we got.
Trash talk.
We're talking to Canadians and asking them to trash talk the Warriors. You ready? Trash talk. No. You don't do that here.
And I hear Canadian high schools are even worse.
Well, well, look who matriculated to grade 9. Someone wants to get into university.
Hey guys, I'm sorry.
Well, you're gonna be sorry when we put you in the hospital for free, eh?
It is the height of 6 American football fields or 5 Canadian football fields, as if Canadian football really counts. What would be the psychological motivation to erect a huge, long, rigid shaft?
The girls up in Canada are gorgeous, and they all play ice hockey, so they lose their teeth by age 10.
Wow.
First of all, there is no Canadian culture. I've never read any Canadian literature. And when have you ever heard anyone say, honey, let's stay in and order some Canadian food?
Well, in the Olympic spirit of peace and goodwill, we release the Canadian dove, the beaver.
You got a point there. You know, I'm really thinking about that because even here in the States, people say, you know, we have American food. Look up American food. I bet you pizza, French fries, that type of stuff is going to pop up. Chicken fingers and all that. I'm like, first of all, pizza is not even like originated in America. That's not our thing. That's Italy's thing. Do we have some cities, you know, that serve wonderful pizza? Yes, but don't go taking that. That's not American food.
Beaver! This was all preventable!
It seems that everything's gone wrong since Canada came along. Brave Canada, brave Canada.
They're not even a real country anyway.
You know, Canadians, we have our Thanksgiving in October.
That's right.
October 6th, and which is your Columbus Day. And we have different traditions. You know, we like to stuff the turkey through the beak. That's unusual. You know?
I knew it. You're there. Just hear me out. Bart, forget it. I'm leaving in 10 minutes. My dad's shooting a movie in Toronto. You're going to Spain? Goodbye, Bart.
Think of your children pledging allegiance to the maple leaf. Mayonnaise on everything. Winter.
Hey, we can't forget, a lot of the creators of The Simpsons were Canadian, man.
Maple leaf. Mayonnaise on everything. Winter. 11 months of the year. Anne Murray. All day. Every day.
It's so clean and bland. I'm home.
It was the biggest shopping day of the year in the U.S., but some stores in Canada also offered their own doorbuster deals. And I was watching the news, and it made me realize how different our two countries are. Look at this store in the U.S. on Fridays.
Like the Black Friday sales, it doesn't make sense. Like, what are you rushing?
Yeah, okay. Now take a look at Black Friday in Canada.
Yo, they're giving these people a round of applause because these people were lined up. They are flexing on us. They did this on purpose.
Well, we've seen some wild sweeping here today.
Yes, the broom handling has been truly dazzling.
And now, for Canada Day, the most Canadian thing imaginable. Polite interactions between professional curlers at the 2018 Tim Hortons National Championship.
Do you like this better or this better?
I think the back one.
Okay, bumper.
Then
We played this shot a few ends ago, hey?
Yeah, bumper. Yeah, I did, yeah. I've only got 4/5.
So want to just play it soft and down to it and bump it?
Well, or we could play like hack.
Okay, I'm good with hack.
Let's look at Canada, the country with a thriving economy based on making jean jackets for geese and of course, their booming Sexy Ryan manufacturing industry.
I can't believe we're on the Canadian Olympic basketball team. Yep, it's just that easy.
Olympic?
Wow, that was close. You can be the center.
All right, fellas, this is us. Let's go. What's the matter? You guys cold? It's not so much the heat, it's the humidity that'll kill you.
We're going to Vancouver!
Heck your winter coat. We're going to Canada's warmest city.
Ottawa. The Canadian capital of romance. Go take a sexy walk together by the Parliament buildings. Surprise your spouse by knowing the clock tower contains 53 bells, eh? And also by performing conolingus without being asked. Just go down.
We aren't as well behaved as our goody two-shoes brother Canada, who, by the way, has never had a girlfriend. I'm just saying.
And then, you know, we'll sit around and tell each other what we're thankful for, and then we'll apologize if it feels like bragging. You know,
that's very Canadian of you.
We eat a whole potato because mashing requires too much aggression.
You're very peaceful in Canada.
And then at the end of the dinner, we stand together and all sing songs about public health care.
Oh, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that a beautiful thing to do?
Yeah.
Okay, Abe, here are your fake Canadian health cards. Take them to any pharmacy and you'll get enough drugs to make Regina look like Saskatoon.
That's a good one, Johnny.
The Canadians. They walk among us. William Shatner, Michael J. Fox, Monty Hall, Mike Myers, Alex Trebek. All of them Canadians. All of them here.
Well, that's it from Vancouver. Blame Canada. Okay, I'll leave you with one more from Canadian television. You've probably never seen this before if you're American.
Little boy, what seems to be the matter?
My poutine.
Your poutine? What's wrong with your poutine?
The gravy wasn't hot enough to melt my cheese curd.
Maybe I really am American. I've been calling it poutine this whole time. Ain't nobody correct me. Is it poutine or poutine? Ain't nobody correct me.
Oh my God. I swear on the ghost of John A. MacDonald that we are going to find out who did this to you, and when we do, we are going to file a formal complaint.
That's beautiful. I remember seeing that from a video. That's beautiful, man. What? The whole thing lights up? Man, if you guys enjoyed this fabulous video just as much as me, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and turn all post notifications on. Please feel free to follow my Twitch in the description down below as well, and feel free to share it to your friends and family members. Let me know in the comments, how do you feel about the Canadian comedy scene, and do you feel that some of the best comedians come out of Canada? Everybody, please feel free to continue to flood my comment section, suggestion link, and DMs on Instagram with more of these phenomenal videos for us to check out. Once again, thank you so much for joining me today to check out this fabulous video on how, you know, Canada's comedians are starting to expand and invade our world over here in the United States, which is a beautiful thing considering American humor is not the best. Like I said, it's inappropriate, it's rude, it's, you know, people gotta curse a lot and this and that. It's not really the best, and it's really like PG-13, adults only. Like, You can't even say a funny joke without having to curse or do this or that or make an inappropriate statement or bully somebody in the stands that came to support you. It's like, I don't even know, man, and it truly is frustrating. Everybody stay safe, enjoy the weather in your beautiful, phenomenal country, and I hope to catch you all in the next reaction video.